Nigel Farage blasted Mr Corbyn for inconsistency after sacking shadow Northern Ireland Secretary Owen Smith after he wrote an op-ed calling for a second Brexit referendum, echoing remarks made by Labour frontbencher Diane Abbott. In November 2017, Ms Abbott told her constituents she wanted another referendum on whether the UK should remain in the European Union, thus breaking rank with Labour's official party line. Mr Farage said, "At times we see this hard man Corbyn putting down the argument there should be a second referendum, and I'm guessing he's doing it because he understands there are 4.5 million people who voted for Corbyn's Labour Party last June who the previous year had voted for Brexit, but there is also a slight inconsistency with the way in which Jeremy Corbyn is leading this party." LBC Jeremy Corbyn BBC Brexit News. Nigel Farage questioned Corbyn's inconsistent treatment of pro-Remain Diane Abbott. Mr Smith's sacking led to a backlash from a huge number of Remain MPs, including Peer Lord Peter Hain, who branded Mr Corbyn's decision a Stalinist purge. The unexpected sacking also spurred Mr Farage to question Mr Corbyn's allegedly differing approaches to Mr Smith's op-ed and the letter shared by Ms Abbott. The pro-Brexit presenter continued, "Diane Abbott, the shadow Home Secretary, long-term personal friend and one of the closest confidants Jeremy Corbyn has got, wrote back to a constituent saying that she thinks, actually, the chance to have a second vote is right. She says, I will argue for the right of the electorate to vote on any deal that is finally agreed." The LBC radio host added, she doesn't use the word referendum, but she makes it absolutely clear that she's backing it. She hasn't been sacked, but Owen Smith has been sacked. And indeed others have been sacked. Nigel Farage, she hasn't been sacked, but Owen Smith has been sacked. And indeed others have been sacked. Ms Abbott wrote to two constituents who asked her to take a more pro-EU stance, and her response suggested she wanted another vote on Britain leaving the EU. The MP for Hackney North and Stoke Newington said, "I will argue for the right of the electorate to vote on any deal that is finally agreed. The Labour Party is committed to retaining the best deal for all. I want to reassure you I am fully focused on defending the interest of the UK and I agree that there should be parliamentary scrutiny and transparency." Defending her position on BBC Any Questions, Ms Abbott simply claimed the Labour Party have now had a debate on Brexit and were fully behind having a meaningful vote in Parliament on the final deal. She said, "We have debated this in the Labour Party. We have debated it seriously because we take the referendum result seriously, but we are not calling for a second referendum." In spite of Mr Smith's sacking, Labour Deputy Leader Tom Watson told Andrew Marr the party would be open to a second Brexit vote should there be a need for it before withdrawal.